How did you become a judge?
I went through the appointment process. I put in my application through Governor Brown's office sometime in 2011, and then they ultimately sent me to Jenny, the Jenny Commission, and after the Jenny Commission I interviewed with Josh Groban from the Governor's office, and then I got the call.
And when were you appointed?
August 29th, 2013.
What did the Jenny process entail?
The Jenny process entailed input. They seek input from the local legal community in which you practice, and for me it was Orange County predominantly, but because I also worked in The Hague, they also sought input from people over there. And then they take into account also everybody that that is on the bench where you practice, so they sought input from the Orange County Superior Court bench. And then after they gather all that information by way of questionnaires, comments about you and your practice as an attorney, then they ask you to interview with 2 commissioners. And after that interview, they then sit with the full commission and discuss your qualifications and then send a report to the Governor's office.
What was your job prior to being appointed?
For about 18 years, I worked as a public defender in the Orange County Public Defender's Office, and then for a little under 2 years, I worked as a war crimes prosecutor for the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia in The Hague in the Netherlands.
And what type of cases did you handle as a public defender for Orange County?
I handled anything from, at the very beginning of my career, juvenile delinquency matters, dependency matters, where we represented the parents in situations where they were accused of neglect of their children, which were quasi-civil matters. And then I handled anything from traffic tickets to misdemeanor jury trials to felony jury trials. I was at the point in my career where I was handling the more complex felony cases. At the time when I got the call for the appointment, I actually was handling a capital case as well.
Do you remember how many trials you've had before being a judge?
I have a total of, I think, approximately 60 jury trials.
How long have you been on the bench?
About 6 months now.
And you now understand that you've been challenged for re-election, correct?
Yes.
So, can you explain what that means?
When I was appointed and I met with my presiding judge, another judge was appointed at the same time, so we kind of went through the process together in the meeting, and we were told at that time that because our seats had been open for a little bit of time before our appointments, those seats would be up for election come June. And so in January, I was notified that someone had pulled papers, meaning that someone had pulled the papers to potentially file against me. And then I think the ending of January is when I found out that for certain the person had filed.
And who is challenging you for your seat?
An attorney named Wayne Phillips. He's a sole practitioner out of South Orange County, and then he practices a lot of different areas, but criminal. I don't know him. He's never appeared in front of me.
Have you ever been against Mr. Phillips?
No.
And in order to challenge a sitting judge for election, what does one need to do?
You have to have 10 years of experience as an attorney, and all you have to do is walk down to the Registrar of Voters office and sign paperwork and pay an $1,800 filing fee.
How much did you budget for your campaign?
We budgeted $100,000, which would be paying for the bare minimum of things that I needed in order to get the word out about my campaign and my qualifications.
In connection with this election, have you been endorsed by other jurists?
Yes. Most of my fellow jurists on the Orange County bench have endorsed me, as well as some fellow judges in Northern California as well as Los Angeles County.
And have you been endorsed by other bar associations for this election?
Yes. So far, the Japanese American Bar Association, the Orange County Asian American Bar Association, and then I have other endorsements that are pending.
Are you aware if any of the judges in Orange County have endorsed Mr. Phillips?
They have not.
And are you aware if any bar associations have endorsed Mr. Phillips?
I'm not aware of that.
And have the prosecutors of Orange County endorsed you?
Yes.
Which prosecutor groups have endorsed you?
The District Attorney, Tony Wakakis himself, has endorsed me. I've also received the endorsement of the Orange County Deputy District Attorneys Association, and I've received the endorsement of the Orange County Attorneys Association, which is made up of all of the county attorneys in Orange County.
And how about one step beyond prosecutors, but law enforcement? Has law enforcement endorsed you in Orange County?
Yes. I have the endorsement of Orange County Sheriff Sandra Hutchins. I also have the endorsement of OC Cops, which covers pretty much most of the law enforcement agencies in Orange County. And then the Southern California Alliance of Law Enforcement.
Did you always know that you wanted to go to law school?
I did.
Why?
Because I always wanted to litigate. It has a lot to do with my background.
What is your background? Why did you want to be a lawyer?
Well, it has to do with my family background. I come from the Central Valley. My dad is a farmer, so I'm a farmer's daughter. And my dad and his family were interned during World War II. So I grew up with experiences that I heard about that experience from him, as well as the other experiences that I heard about from neighboring family friends who went through the internment. That drove me and has always driven me to want to go to law school, to want to give a voice to people, and to want to make sure that the courts are accessible and fair. So that's been the driving force all through law school, through my career at the Public Defender's Office, through my career as a prosecutor, and then ultimately it drove me to the bench because I want to keep on serving the public, but I want to serve them in this way to make sure that the courts are, again, accessible to everybody and fair.
What can the community do to help you for election?
Getting the word out about my campaign, letting people know my qualifications to sit on the bench, and getting out there to vote.